Hey, it's Christian here with a look at my Lego Space Training Center, and I'd really like you to get a good view at like this section over here. So I'm going to start with that section. So I think you'll really enjoy this section. So right here is the museum. We have a little satellite I just put together, pretty simple, and the space shuttle that is pretty neat. It came from one of these Lego sets that came with the external tank too, but I just decided to put the space shuttle on there because, you know, this is Space Training Center and you don't really need a rocket inside the building unless it's a full museum. I only put the museum for extra detail and stuff like that, but yeah. And okay, so this is like the front lobby. You have a waiting area over here, and this is where you can go in, and there's a keyboard right here, and you have just some pretty nice detail like right here. That's a little ornament on top of this flag. Can you see that? Whoops, this thing is meant to come off, but sometimes it comes off when you don't want it to. There we go. This is the alarm, like in case anyone's trying to break in, but I doubt no one would. So anyway, this isn't a safe, but if you look in there, not sure how well you can, but there's a little guy like monitoring this guy. This guy. That guy's in there and he's having lots of fun simulating launch. And a guy in there, I'll give you a better view of him. Yep, can you see him? Thought that was pretty cool. So now I'll start to show you this. Just basically a newsstand, and when you put this on, let me actually put it on and look at it from the other side. Guess what? You get a very cool newsstand because he's showing you this whole thing, and he's right underneath there to show you. Now, usually I would not take this off to show you something out the corner, but I will because it's super hard to see. But now I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to take this whole part off so you can actually see it. Whoops. Actually, how about I just show it to you right here. Well, there's the astronaut right there, and he's doing some pretty cool stuff. Like, he has all his controls, and it's all bent down like the real spacecraft. And so I thought that was pretty neat. This thing falls apart easily, so that way I would highly recommend to, if you ever try to build what I built, build it carefully. I highly recommend that. Anyway, so now we're going to move on to the launch little system right here. He is right in front of a giant fan that is simulating launch, like feels like he's going forward. And this little background thing, I'll show you, I'll give you a look at that, well, it's just in front of a water fountain, but it's hard to see. Can you see that? It's a little bit of detail right there. So yeah, and we have a dressing room where like you dress up with an astronaut, and if you open up these parts, you get a few things like some pants and a helmet. So close that back up, and then over here you have a worker speaking into the walkie-talkie with an air tank. Now we move on over here. This is a nurse's station. The nurse looks very nice. And a little hammer for that thing on your knee. That little thing. And this space shuttle here, they'll put you in there for about 2 days and 2 nights, so that way you'll feel what it's like to be in a space shuttle in space. Moving on, right here you can talk to the designer of everything, and like the space shuttle, you see she has some paper and the blueprints on top. Now here's the part that I really like. Wait a second, this is very heavy, so it's hard to move around. And here we go. It is the food stand. Yes, as you can see, we have some Mountain Dew, Mellow Yellow, pink lemonade. He has a hot dog. Move him out of the way. And so, as you can see, he looks like he's happy. And this guy has a little pie. And then we're back to where we started. Now, something that is really cool that I would like to show you is that, just a second, this thing is very fragile, like I said, is that this guy he actually has a little button back here. I just made it up to open up the cargo bay doors just for show. These cargo bay doors actually can be opened, but I am too worried to because they break easily, and not as easily as this one. And so that just brings us around back where we started. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please put up some comments or keep watching my videos. I put up some weekly, and I hope that you really liked this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it.